What's up, team? How's it going? Welcome back to a new video. We are checking out another video by Grid 88, Special Boat Service versus SEAL Team 6. We're going to check out the differences between the two units and see how similar they possibly are. You can check out the original video in the description. Please go and check them out. Give them a like, share and follow. They put out some absolute brilliant content. And if you could like, share and subscribe to Combat Ready HQ, I would hugely appreciate it. And remember to turn notifications on. And a big shout out to all of our channel members. Thank you for all of your continued support. But let's get into the video now.
Within the murky depths of amphibious warfare, two names strike fear into the heart of adversaries: the UK's Special Boat Service SBS and the US Navy's SEAL Team 6. Both Tier 1 operators are renowned for their surgical precision and ruthless effectiveness. Today, we dive into the world of these super soldiers, exploring their history, training, structure, specialized equipment, and tactics to try and determine who would reign supreme in a hypothetical clash. The Special Boat...
Obviously, this is hypothetical. They're both Tier 1 units, but Team Brits, SBS all the way. What I love about the SBS a little bit more is they are that little bit more secretive. They do have people coming out on TV now. But everyone knows the SAS, but not as many people know the SBS. And we've all heard of Delta Force and SEAL Team 6.
Service is the Royal Navy's Maritime Special Forces unit. SBS is under the operational control of the Director, Special Forces. The Royal Navy's Special Boat Service traces its origins back to several units that undertook raids, sabotage, and reconnaissance from canoes and submarines during World War II. In 1940, it was formed as the Army Special Boat Section. Years following World War II, they operated under 22nd SAS as their amphibious troop, also referred to as Boat Troop, until the Royal Navy formed its Special Forces and merged with the Army Special Boat Section. The Special Boat Service motto, "By Strength and Guile," which described their personality. The origins of SEAL Team 6 can be traced back to Navy SEALs created by Richard Marcinko in 1980. Marcinko was the first commanding officer of the unit. At the time, there were two SEAL teams, SEAL Team 1 and SEAL Team 2. To mislead Soviet intelligence about the actual number of SEAL teams, Marcinko decided to name the new unit as SEAL Team 6, which was exclusively formed from the existing pool of Navy SEALs.
So pretty genius. So first of all, the differences there is the history. That's all it is. SBS can date theirs a little bit further back, got a little bit more history compared to the SEAL teams. Are relatively, in the broader scheme of things, a pretty new unit. Pretty much 40 years difference between them. But I love that. Great way of decepting the Russians. Really good way, and just shows you the skills and the thinking when it comes to sort of special forces units.
In 1987, SEAL Team 6 was dissolved and replaced by Naval Special Warfare Development Group, or DEV Group, which is still commonly referred to as SEAL Team 6. Most of the operations conducted by the SBS are highly classified. As a result, little information is available about the unit. The principal roles of the SBS are surveillance and reconnaissance, offensive action including the direction of airstrikes, artillery, and naval gunfire, designation for precision guided munitions, use of integral weapons and demolitions, overseas training tasks. The SBS also provides immediate response military counterterrorism and maritime counterterrorism teams. DevGru, or...
So yeah, from the understanding I've got from being in the British Army when I served and having mates that had gone on to the SBS, obviously direct action, surveillance and reconnaissance, hostage rescue, counter-terrorism in the UK and obviously abroad, overseas, and then massively on obviously counter-terrorism on sort of maritime facilities, oil rigs, boats, which apparently they are meant to be absolutely amazing at. From speaking to guys that have served and obviously worked with them, when it comes to just working on, aboarding a ship or an oil rig and getting around the ship unseen and carrying out the task, they are second to none. They are genuinely top tier. There's not much difference between the SBS and the SAS. They do the same selection, it's just that they more specialise in sort of maritime, so diving, boarding boats, oil rigs, even though the SAS still have their boat troop. These guys did a lot of work, just like the SAS, in Afghan and Iraq. So there's a lot of where their skill sets went as well, plus all round the world. A really, really top tier unit.
SEAL Team 6 specializes in unconventional warfare, reconnaissance, and counterterrorism operations on land, air, and especially on sea. Their mission is thought to include preemptive, proactive strikes, counter-proliferation, efforts to prevent the spread of both conventional weapons and WMD, and the elimination or recovery of high-value targets from hostile or unfriendly nations. According to the Navy, their mission is to provide centralized management for the test, evaluation, and development of equipment technology and techniques, tactics, and procedures for naval special warfare units. Most of SBS operators are selected from the Royal Marines Commandos. There are 2 selection courses each year, one in winter and the other in summer. Candidates wishing to serve with the Special Boat Service must have completed at least 2 years regular service. SBS candidates take part in Joint Special Forces selection alongside SAS candidates, with their selection and training diverging after the end of the JSFS course. JSFS lasts for 6 months. It is broken down into multiple phases. Before progressing to Joint UKSF selection, SBS candidates must pass a 2-week aptitude test, which involves boating phase, combat fitness test, SBS swimming test, carrying a folding canoe for 3 miles, canoe paddle. After selection, at which point SAS candidates have passed, SBS candidates continue to the swimmer canoeist, also called boating and diving course. It lasts 8 weeks and covers specialist maritime skills such as canoeing, diving, boating, underwater navigation and demolition, and submarine infiltration. After passing the SC3 course, SBS candidates join an operational troop on probation. The qualified SBS operators are known as swimmer canoeists. On the other hand,
yeah, so they do a briefing course, they then go and do sort of like an aptitude course, like a preparation course that gets them ready, and then they go and do 6-month selection, which is one of the toughest selections in the world, which is joint with the SAS. Then they go on to that boat and diving qual, which from what I've heard is just as hard, if not harder, than the six-month selection that they've actually just done. You know, moving around tactically with diving gear, boats, taking your canoes in and out of water, having to patrol long distances with the boats on your back while wet with all the rest of your kit. Apparently, it's absolutely disgusting. But these guys, once again, like I said, are top tier. And going previously, when it said about fire support and JTACs, within the team, the majority of them are trained on controlling fast air, artillery, mortars, because not likely they're going to have an artillery guy with them, is it? So they're going to need to work in close unit, and they need to use all the assets that are available to them. So they are highly skilled and highly trained, just like obviously the Dev Crew guys, SEAL Team 6 guys are.
And the candidates for SEAL Team 6 are put through a series of physical, psychological, and technical assessments designed to evaluate their suitability for the unit. Candidates must have a minimum of 5 years of experience in a SEAL team and have completed at least 2 deployments. They must also meet a variety of other requirements, including age, rank, clearance level, and physical fitness standards. The selection process includes a variety of challenging exercises such as a long-distance ocean swims, combat diving, parachuting, and live fire. Only 50% of candidates who apply for SEAL Team 6 successfully pass the selection process. After selection, SEAL Team 6 candidates are required to complete an 8-month training course. The first phase of the training involves close quarter battle, where trainees undergo high-pressure shooting scenarios. They are trained in jumping from high altitudes and opening chutes at various altitudes during the night. Then, trainees learn to fly chutes in formation known as stack, with the lead jumper navigating to the target and the others following behind. It's a challenging and skill-intensive training. Finally, they are trained in survival, evasion, resistance, and escape skills to prepare for missions deep behind enemy lines.
I think this is what really shows the difference between SEAL teams and SEAL Team 6. So the actual Navy SEALs, you know, they're classed as, you know, top tier units, more tier 2, tier 3, I think, if there was a tier, if you were sorting them by tiers. but then you join the SBS, you just do your course, you're in, you do your courses and your training, and you're all the same level and you progress. You join the SEALs, which is classed as sort of like a special forces unit. You then going to have to do another 8 months training after the selection. So it's like a year long, I believe, in total, to then be ready to be a absolute SEAL Team 6 operator. So you're already at a high level, but to get to SEAL Team 6 level, which is the same as sort of like SBS, you then have to go and do another like year's worth of training.
Behind enemy lines. According to some estimates, the SBS numbers are around 300 standby operators. The Special Boat Service is organized into 4 squadrons, C, X, Z, M, in addition to a reserve squadron. Squadrons are organized into 4 16-man troops. Troops are often broken down into 4-man patrols, 2-man canoe teams, or 8-man teams, a typical boatful. The men of C and X Squadron were specialists in canoe and small boat operations. Z Squadron specialized in underwater attack and insertion. The men of M Squadron are trained for maritime counter-terrorism operations. They are ready to respond to terrorist threats on ferries, cruise ships, hovercraft, oil tankers, and oil rigs. It is now believed that the SBS squadrons take turns rotating in these roles. The government...
I was going to say, I'm not sure where he gets his information, because he does know a little bit more about me in this video, which is great to hear some new things. But that may have been how it used to be. But from what I gather, the units, the squadrons rotate. So one will be on like UK counterterrorism, one will be on overseas counterterrorism, one will be on, I don't know, maritime, and then one will be on like downtime / training, R&R. And then they just basically rotate through. So I think they're all pretty much skilled. Some people go off and do certain courses. Someone will be a medic specialist. Someone will be like fire support specialist. Someone will be explosive, sniper, CQB, whatever. But when it comes to sort of the main base level, they're all the same as operators, I believe, from my experience from talking to people. But I could be wrong. Loving this video. So make sure you go and check out the original video in the description. Give them a like, share, and a follow. And don't forget to check out our amazing coffee blends, Combat Ready HQ Coffee, over on our website. Link is in the description.
Accountability Office report on Special Operation Forces states that SEAL Team 6 has a total of 1,787 authorized positions.
That's just in DevGru, SEAL Team 6. Can you imagine how many SEALs they are compared to UKSF?
1,342 being military and 445 being civilian. DevGru is divided into 6 color-coded squadrons. The red, blue, gold, and silver are assault squadrons. The black squadron is responsible for intelligence, reconnaissance, and surveillance, while gray squadron is responsible for mobility teams, transportation, and QRF. Each assault squadron is also given a specific nickname. For example, gold squadron is known as the Crusaders, red squadron as the Indians, blue squadron as the Pirates, silver squadron as the Headhunters.
I have to say that just sounds typical American in a minute, but fair play, some decent names.
Gray squadron as the Vikings. Each assault squadron is usually led by a commander, is divided into 3 troops, often called assaulters. Each of these troops is commanded by a senior commissioned officer. A DevGru troop is further divided into smaller teams. Each troop has around 16 members and is led by a senior officer. The rest of these teams are filled out with Chief Petty Officers, Petty Officers First Class, and Petty Officers Second Class. The assault squadrons are supported by a variety of support personnel, including cryptologists, communicators, EOD technicians, dog handlers, and sometimes airmen from the United States Air Force 24th Special Tactics Squadron, the Air Force's JSOC element. SBS and SEAL Team 6 both use top-of-the-line firearms for their operations. SBS is armed with a variety of weapons ranging from underwater handguns to Arctic warfare Magnum sniper rifle. Similarly, SEAL Team 6 uses top-of-the-line weapons including HK-416 and Colt M4A1 carbine. They are also armed with MK-46 and MK-48 machine guns. They are armed with MP7 submachine gun and a wide array of sniper rifles. These weapons are extensively customized to meet individual preferences, with modifications made to various parts such as the stock, grips, sights, and other movable components. Both units have the most up-to-date technology at their disposal. This enables them to obtain crucial information and execute precise and deadly strikes with exceptional accuracy.
Yeah, I think when it comes to sort of weapons, I know that DeMarco was a big one with UKSF years ago, and I think it was the Glock and the Sig pistol. I think nowadays they get access to a whole wide range of weapon systems depending on what the operation is, and they can obviously customize. You can sort of customize it yourself being a regular soldier, but I believe when it comes to SF, you are picking the sight, the laser module, you are customizing it a lot more than what a standard regular soldier would be. And you've got a lot more in your armory that you can sort of take depending on what sort of operation you're going on. Like, I'm going on this op, I think I need to take this weapon and I'm going to carry the shotgun or something, whatever. And when it comes to funding and kit and equipment, both of them compared to conventional sort of armies, regular sort of soldiers, funding is a lot higher. They get a lot better equipment, but I still reckon SEAL Team 6 get better than the SBS just because the amount of money that's pumped in to the US. Yes, I think, my guess is the UKSF get different funding from the defence budget. Yeah, they get the standard defence budget, and then they're going to get some secret backhanders and a different sort of budget. But I still don't think it's going to be nowhere near as high as what the US gets. So I think when it comes to kit and equipment, they both get top of the range kit. But I reckon SEAL Team 6 gets some proper alley stuff.
Now, with our better understanding of the selection, training, and weapons of these elite units, it is fascinating to know which team is better. This is such a subjective question and can have no definitive answer as it involves multiple factors, because both units are supremely trained at what they do and what their specific missions are. In case they engage in an amphibious environment, either side could prevail over the other given the circumstances in which they engage, because they are specially trained for amphibious warfare. However, if they engage on land, Dev Group has a higher probability to overpower SBS as they are better trained to conduct missions on land. Both elite units are undoubtedly among the best in the world of amphibious warfare. Let us hope they never clash in reality. So what do you think? Which unit would win? UK's Special Boat Service or SEAL Team 6? Take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for tuning in. We would greatly appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up, share our content, and subscribe.
An absolute brilliant video. They're on par. You can't really compare them. They are just on par when it comes to, they all work together very closely, the US, the UK. We're always cheering Team Brits, but when it really comes to it, if you gave them the same operation, they will most probably conduct it differently, just because the US and the UK think differently, different kit available, but they're both going to get the job done, personally. They go up against each other. The US would win on sheer manpower, but if it was equal, like you said at the beginning of the video, it's a hypothetical question. You can never really decide. They are definitely on par, but an absolute brilliant video by Grid88. Go and check them out. And if you could like, share and subscribe to Combat Ready HQ, once again, I'd hugely appreciate it. A massive shout out to all of you who have supported the channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.